Hello, I'm Carly Wharton, and I am one of the hosts of our Buildabiz series that we do these online Zooms where they're free to join anybody who has a business that they're wanting to expand and grow or even start from scratch, from nothing. Maybe you haven't started yet. These sessions are perfect for getting the juices flowing around how to think about your business in like a satisfying way. So for Build-A-Biz as a series, we look at the who, what, when, why, where, how of building a business, because that's the fun. The fun of being an entrepreneur is that there's so many different avenues and facets and things to consider, and there's constantly something coming up where you're learning something new, and that's usually why most of us are doing it. Like, we really like the variety of getting to be out there, like, traversing unknown terrain and creating something new. That's pretty satisfying if you really get going in it. So uh, that's Build a Bit, is that we want to talk about our businesses in a fun way. So the series itself is a lot of fun. This week, the subject is, who is your ideal client? And that that is such like a near and dear like a near and dear question to me. I have spent a lot of time thinking about who my ideal client is, and not just for the business that I'm currently employing that thought process with, but also I built a grocery store in 2017. Yes, in 2017 we did the full construction remodel and planned a whole grocery and hired and trained a staff of 30 people and opened the store in February 2018. And so when I very first found out that we were going to be doing this grocery store, that was kind of my starting place, was like dreaming it into being. At the time, I lived in Dallas. I didn't even live in Holton, where the store would eventually be located. Uh, so I had like 2.5 months of living in Dallas still, where there's no connection to the physical reality of making this business. It's only in my mind, in my ideas, in my journal, in my typing emails to my cousin, who's my partner, opening this with me. Um, Basically dreaming it to life, like blank canvas style. Like, what is it? What is it that you want to do? What do you want it to be? Like the building that we took was totally vacant. It was just a blank slate. It needed a tiny bit of work. So that was the construction part of it. We also had to do like plumbing and electrical stuff for our refrigeration that we installed, and buy the refrigeration and shelves and all of the things that go into opening a grocery store. Um, so before there was a physical reality, there was just our imagination. And that's where this question is really meant to like stretch its legs and see what it sounds like. Um, who is your ideal client? Not who do you think is around you right now who's most likely to buy your stuff. Like, no, like, who is your ideal client? Like, what, when they walk into your business or when they come to you for service, who are they already? For one thing, who is your ideal client as they come to you, as they meet you for the first time? Where are they in their life? What are they doing? What is their intention? What's their goal? Who is this person? Like, think about it like it's a real person. It's very helpful. And then on the other side, who do you want them to be when they leave from your business or after the service that you provide? Like, what is the effect that you wish to have on these people? So they come to you like this and they leave you like this. Who is that, and what are you trying to do here? It's such a it's, like I said, I might be biased, but it's such a fun way to think about your business, because it clarifies so much in the understanding of who your ideal client is. And that can be a mix of factors, like, you know in the grocery store example, it's like, well, it's in a small town. There's only 3,000 some people in the town. So hopefully a lot of them are our ideal clients, because that's not that many people to choose from. So you got to think about that, right? Like, my ideal client, like, that's now a broader definition, because I need to be serving as much of the demographic as possible so that those people will shop in my store, because we need to maintain certain levels of revenue. However, in my spiritual business, I'm going about it pretty differently because where I'm working online, I'm able to get in touch with anyone. Like I work with people all over the US in all kinds of different time zones. I have a couple people in the UK that I talk to sometimes. And so through Zoom, through online work, I mean, I'm not limited by like a certain physical location. So therefore, I can be way pickier about who is my ideal client. I can make that as narrow of a definition as I want. And it's all kind of a matter of focus. So, where I started in 2017 was with focus wheels. And this is a concept. I wish I could show you. It's just here off camera where, like, what that looks like. It's basically like a cluster chart. Like, you have an idea in the middle. The idea in the middle is my ideal client. And then as you have descriptions of what that ideal client is and what it looks like and what it sounds like and what it feels like and what it gets out of coming into your business, how it reacts to your business, you can like imagine all of that. What is the ideal version of that client? So like for the grocery store, I mean, it was like people who they come in, they walk in the front door and they literally feel at home. Like our staff smiles at them, and these customers, they come in knowing that they're going to be able to just like take a deep breath and relax in the store because it's such a nice and pleasant environment. And they come in and they communicate with us and they know our names, we know their names. Like this is the type of customer that we're going to have at the grocery store. This is me sitting in my apartment in Dallas long before there was ever a physical building to go to even start to build a grocery store. So that's what I'm talking about, like in terms of the imagination piece of it is a lot of fun, to dream this up. Like, how is it going to be? And so then the fun part, that was like my super fun part, was how are they going to be when they leave? And I like to imagine like my ideal customer just had the best experience at the grocery store. They have the best, I kind of tell the same story but about my spiritual business. Um, but they have the best time when they come and they interact with us and they walk away saying, oh, I can't wait till I need to go grocery shopping again. I can't wait till I need to pick something up again. Like I'll pop, well, I guess I could pop in there tomorrow because she said they're doing rotisserie chickens or whatever, like looking for excuses to come to visit us. Like that's how much they love us. They refer us to all their friends. Like these are my ideal clients. Like they sing our praises from the rooftops because they enjoy themselves so much inside of our store. So those are the kinds of thoughts that I had around who is my ideal customer for the grocery store. Again, long before it was ever a physical reality. Even before there was financing 100% secured to like make this. I mean, it took a lot of money to open the grocery store and that was up in the air for months. And during that whole time of like, I don't have the money yet, I still was able to get in my imagination and be like, when our customers walk in the door, they light up because, oh, like I'm at Cecil Cave. Like it feels like home in here. It feels like a party. That's the kind of reaction that we're getting is like, people who genuinely appreciate what we do every day, that we show up and we deliver a small town grocery experience. And our customers really appreciate that. Our customers love that we're locally owned, that, Chad and I, the two owners, that we live in the community, we live in the county, and we pay taxes here and we reinvest our money back into this community. Like, we shop from other local vendors, like we're interconnected and our customers really appreciate that. And so that kind of story, I mean, I was telling that story again while I lived in Dallas, and now, fast forward 4 years almost, it's all true. Like that's all true, and we have customers like that, and we're gaining new ones all the time. So that's how it starts. Like so often we fall in love with like our work and we forget like who's on the other side of that. And so it's so fun that, okay, so this is kind of where this question came from this time, was with my spiritual business. I work with a life coach. Her name is Melissa. Her practice is called Sacred She, and her soul work is to help women connect with their divine feminine energy. And I can vouch she changed my life. So yeah, she's legit, and I am renewing my contract with her to continue another 6 months of working with her because Even she's an excellent listener, for one thing. And two, she can listen and listen and listen and listen and then drop this little question that just like opens this whole new territory. So that was what happened. She asked me, as we were talking about my spiritual business, and like technically, I guess what I do is coaching in some way, and I don't really care for that vocab word. So we were going back and forth on like, okay, well, get away from the word, like the label of it, like what is it that you actually want to do? And in that, right as a follow-up was like, well, who is your ideal client? Like, who are they again, and who are they when they show up, and who are they when they leave? Like, what skills have they already learned, and what are they capable of learning as they come to you? And that's something that's like personal for every single person. Like if you're offering like an intangible service like coaching or guidance or mentorship or whatever the case is, it's even more important to be so specific, because it's so easy for a customer to be disappointed if they show up and they're looking for something that you don't offer. Thankfully, I think that's happened to me one time where a lady legit wanted me to like give her a date of when she was going to get married, and I was like, that's not the kind of astrology I practice, so I can't in good conscience answer that for you. And she was a little sassy, but it's okay. Like it's totally okay. um, because most of the time the people that are showing up, they are like ready and they're open and they're a match with the story that I want to tell, the story that just comes out of me. So yeah, it's exciting to get to dream up the ideal client and then literally watch it play out and watch those people just show up in your life. Like my ideal clients are really enthusiastic. They're highly verbal, they're highly intellectual, they like to think new things, they like to pick apart thoughts, like not in an overly neurotic way, but in like a recreational way. So that's just me, right? Like that basically describes me, like so people like that are going to be a good match for me because I am high energy, high verbal. I love to articulate thoughts. I love to go back and forth in conversation. I love to be asked questions. I love to ask people questions. So my ideal client is like that, is wanting to have interactions like that. So it's helpful to understand like, who are you in that process and what is it that you're wanting to do? Because if you're someone who wants to communicate emotionally with someone, for example, not verbal, to have someone who shows up who's highly verbal, that person's going to be disappointed. So it's important to match like who is my ideal client with who am I? Who am I going to be showing up and what kind of value do I hope to deliver? So that's where who is my ideal client, it does like link back and it clarifies like so many different things. And that's where I think it's amazing because I have a whiteboard. I have actually a couple whiteboards, but a whiteboard is only so big, and once you fill it and you need to like, you wrote that down so you can like think about it, you can't just erase it to write new stuff because then, that defeats the whole purpose of like saving it so you can think about it later. And so I have a whiteboard back here and I filled it like immediately after I got off the call with Melissa, where she was like, who is your ideal client? And I filled it with like so many ideas. And I was like, my head's gonna explode. Like I have so many more clarifications and ideas and facets of like who my ideal client is. And all of a sudden it clicked, giant post-its. I have FFA background and leadership experience, and I've used giant sticky, flip charts many times. And oh my gosh, like they make the kind that have like the post-it backing on them where you just like stick it on the wall and you're good to go. So I'll just like give you a tiny preview of my idea walls. So this is how I line the walls of my office, is in idea paper. And when it's full, when there's like a section that's full, especially if I'm done using it, I can put a new page on top of that and go again. Or I can like add it back here, like just keep putting them. I think I'm probably gonna wallpaper my whole house soon. Like I personally am really heavy on ideas and sometimes lacking follow through. And part of me being okay with myself was learning how to like really see the value in the amount of ideas that was flowing through me. And honestly, these idea walls are pure gold. Like in terms of if you are heavy into ideas and light on follow through, capturing your ideas so that you can like look at them again and again and again. Like I love walking in here in the morning because it's like the world is my oyster, literally. Like anything on these pages might jump out at me as what we want to work on today. It might be something completely new. I might need to like start a new page that has new things on it. Like it just, it's amazing to really see the value of coming up with ideas. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody has a fountain of ideas flowing through them all the time. So especially if you have any kind of entrepreneurial spirit, maybe that applies to you. Thought I'd tack it on there, felt right. So yeah, that is a nice little story around thinking through who is your ideal client. I realize that's not comprehensive. That's why I love, 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 love when we get to do Build-A-Biz as an in-person conversation. Doesn't always work out, and that's okay. I wanted to tell the story anyway. But next time we will be live and in person every Tuesday at, no, every Thursday. Today's Thursday. Sometimes they all blur together, you know. When you're working for yourself 5 days a week and it doesn't really matter what day it is, you're just going to be creative. Like that's a good place to be, you know, not able to keep track of the day. So yeah, I think that's a good place to leave it. Build a Biz every Thursday, 11 a.m. Central Time. Hope to see you there.